let's talk about the fact that I'm a mad scientist. I took the test twice because I was like, I don't want to be a mad scientist. You are listening to Roots and Rise with Kelsey and Maddie.
Rooted in wisdom, rising together.
And here we are.
Well, let's rewind.
Okay. It's absolutely true. I'm literally, right now I'm spiraling, and it's because that's what mad scientists do. Okay, so we have to get this like rolling as fast as possible so people can know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Today, we're going to discuss some really cool conversations that Maddie and I got to witness yesterday with prominent Arthur C. Brooks. I was going to say prominent author.
But also author Arthur C. Brooks.
He is author of several best-selling books, largely talked about Love Your Enemies. I'm about to start reading another book of his that talks about building the life that you want. He is a researcher at Harvard Business School with his specified research is in happiness and how to attain it. He is a devoted Catholic. He believes that faith is a huge part of the walk to happiness. But he really takes data and like breaks it down. So today we're going to talk about our road to happiness and teaching you what we learned really from Arthur yesterday. And it turns out
First of all, he has a quiz on his website. It is arthurbrooks.com, ARTHURBROOKS.com. And on it, you can take a quiz on one of four. Would you call it a personality type?
Kind of like a personality type. So you are either a mad scientist, a cheerleader, a judge, or a poet. They all have different pros and cons to them. And it's essentially your like personality type walking through the world. But it's the positive effect and negative effect kind of exam and seeing how you approach positives and negatives throughout your life. That's what I'm guessing.
What do you feel more of?
What do you feel more
naturally?
So we took this exam. I'm a mad scientist.
She takes it and she's like, what? No, I'm a mad scientist. It says that what did it say?
It says you spiral a lot. So then I was like, I have to take it again.
Every time I talk to Kelsey on the one, she's like, sorry, I'm spiraling.
And I was like, I can't be a mad scientist. And then it was like, I took it literally again. And I was like, I must have done it wrong the first time.
Still a mad scientist. Even trying maybe to pick the answers that weren't so mad scientisty.
And it doesn't matter because it's going to find you. And then, of course, guess what she is? So, roll eyes. She's a cheerleader. Which no one's shocked by that. So anyway, we get into and really the whole point of today was that he talked about in his talk yesterday about teaching other people what he taught us in regards to there's basically 4 steps on creating happiness in your life. And we're going to attempt to break it down, but we're diving right into this. So
I have to say, I didn't attend this talk. This was during a women's event. I listened to him in the evening where he was talking about loving your enemy, and maybe we kind of I don't know. We'll kind of see where this episode goes, but Kelsey's going to lead this because I'm going to learn with you from her and kind of give my thoughts.
Okay, so based on this, and we'll link his website to where you can find this, like the questionnaire, and based on the PANAS score, the positive effect, negative effect score, if you tend to express a lot of positive affect or effect, but express little negative effect, you are a cheerleader. You are lots of good moods and not too many bad moods. If you tend to show high negative effect and low positive effect, you are a poet, lots of bad moods, fewer good moods. If you are high on both, you're a mad scientist. If you are, you have lots of strong emotions, both good and bad, which yes, that tracks. If you have low on both, then you're a judge. You don't get lots of strong moods on either side. You are really steady.
I want to be that one.
Well, apparently to the mad scientist, the judge is a good balance because they don't get high on their feelings.
So you can
they
meet in the middle.
But for me, really, I think having a cheerleader as my best friend creates a lot of perspective on the negative that I feels sometimes. So when I'm like spiraling, you're like, well, but it could be this. And then I'm like, you're so right.
Yeah. Or you could also call me the toxic positivity guru.
I don't think that's
when
true,
I learned
though.
what that meant, like it was for like 5 years ago, I was like, oh my.
I mean,
that's maybe a avoidant technique that I've really gotten good at.
but you know what I think that you have mastered that he was talking about yesterday? He talks about satisfaction and how people are constantly chasing satisfaction as a way of creating happiness in their life. And what we don't realize is that once you attain the thing, it's just not enough. He was saying that he talks to a bunch of billionaires and once they get their first billion, they're like, I didn't feel anything. It didn't really do much for me. I guess I needed another billion. Yeah. So satisfaction doesn't really make us happy. But the pursuit of purpose, the pursuit of really knowing what your whole purpose is here on earth is kind of I mean, that really seals the deal. If you know why you're waking up. And the thing I really want to talk about today is like the things you would die for. I really want to get into this with you because I obviously know I look for reasons to want to die for my kids. Like I look for, like I was telling somebody the other day, they were like, you're crazy. I was like, I think about killing people for my kids all the time because I'm like, let's go. Let's go. I'll meet you in an alley. That sounds fun.
Very mad scientist. I think it's hitting.
I think it's hitting. It's landing. But there's a lot to talk about in satisfaction, and especially the people that listen to our podcast. I think that you all will hear us when we say what that related to me when I heard him talking about that was, oh, this is like keeping up with the Joneses. Mm-hmm. This is like walking into your friend's house. It's a huge upgrade from where you live. They've got more money. They've got a better car. They've got a better job. They've maybe you're just assessing their life and you're like, oh, they're leveled up. And then all you can think about are the things you lack instead of the things
absence
that you have.
of gratitude. Our daily practice, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can't feel gratitude and envy at the same time, right?
They just don't. It's like oil and water. They don't go together.
Mm-mm.
It's true. It's true. But so I think once somebody takes this test and explores, and they, if you're a mad scientist, just know I'm spiraling about it, but I'll get over it eventually. Because
you'll find the goodies in it.
Because my bestie's a cheerleader, so we're gonna find the good. We're gonna find the good. But here are the questions. I think this is
good. Let's do it. Let's do the questions.
So does this accurately describe you, or does it seem inaccurate? Were you surprised?
I was not surprised. I knew that was going to be the result, and it is me to a T. The good and the bad.
I love that.
Yeah. Like I am very bad to be around. I have to actively work on not dismissing people's sad feelings because I hate, and I'm using that word that I don't like. I hate feeling sad. I hate it. Like I'll get bored of it. And I'm like, okay, on to the next thing. I'm tired of that. Like,
yeah. And see, Maddie and I were talking about this earlier where, it quite literally. So I left my makeup in my car and I was with her today. And so I was like, well, I guess I could just use your makeup. She was like, yeah, let's go. I have realized, and all of you are going to be like, I'm a little creeped out by that. I don't know if you guys have seen the movie Single White Female, but it's like she starts to become her friend. And I'm like, I'm not trying to become her, but it is like very relieving to be like, yeah, we wear the same clothes, the same makeup. We go to this, like we're doing our hair the same because I finally found somebody that likes the same things I like. And I don't have to compromise on any of it except for your love for yacht rock, which I don't. My other bestie, April, is also obsessed with yacht rock.
She can sing, and I want her to sing for me, and I will just lay by the pool while she slowly sings.
She will, and she's the greatest
summer
crooner.
breeze.
So, summer breeze. But I'm like, to me, I'm so grateful that we have something that we don't have in common because I was getting a little concerned there.
I know. That's about it. Besides the fact that you're a mad scientist and I'm a cheerleader, but we can't be exactly the same.
No, that would be so annoying. Okay. I'm glad that you are not surprised by that.
Not at all.
I'm a little bit upset, but that's just because I really wanted to be a cheerleader. And I know Arthur, if for any reason Arthur and Kate, his executive assistant, is listening to this, I'm letting you know now. I am not saying that there's anything wrong with being a mad scientist. I'm just having a lot of feelings about it.
So the last question, were you surprised? Yes.
I was, but that's only because I really wanted to. It's like high school, guys. I wanted to be a cheerleader so bad. And I wasn't. I was an eater kid. There we go. Okay. What are the drawbacks of this profile for a leader?
I know what the drawbacks for myself as a leader are. Being a cheerleader. I do not want to give someone an honest review. I have to actively be like, when I taught, we learned this strategy and it's like positive, negative, positive. And so like you open with like, this is wonderful and this is wonderful. And you sandwich, and then it's like, here's where we can improve. And then this is wonderful. And it's hard. It's very hard for me. I don't want people, I have a fear that if I give people negative feedback, that's all they'll see in themselves.
Yeah.
Whereas I look at people and I don't see their negatives as their prominent parts of who they are. I see their positives. So I never want them to think that they're being viewed by their negatives either. And I don't take criticism well either. I'll think about it a long time.
I think that I'm so grateful that there are people in my life that have shown me how to give constructive criticism and take constructive criticism and know the difference between being mean and being helpful.
Yes.
And when you have a dear friend, okay, this is a topic that is, I don't know what it is about me that like smells and things, but like breath.
It's me.
It's not you.
My breath always smells.
I have several people in my life that I love so dearly, and their breath smells like a dead rat.
It's not that. It's just coffee.
It's not coffee. Oh. I'm going to tell you the facts, you guys. I would not speak for the first week that I was on medication because I got dry mouth, and I was like, it's rank in there. Like, I'm not going to talk to you because I just don't want you to smell me. And I used to have this thing where, like, if you smelled bad, I couldn't trust you. I'm not as bad about that now. But,
she also was deeply disturbed by the fact that I don't scrub my body. I only soap my body.
I'm still not.
And that constructive criticism led me to get body scrub and a
Old
loofah.
Navy. Oh my God, I'll never get over it. It's so weird. But like also I do love it because I was thinking about it, listening back to that episode, and I was like, oh my goodness, don't judge somebody for their bar of soap, because if that brings them joy, maybe a bar of soap might bring me joy.
I'm not gonna lie. I got a true sea urchin loofah thing. I scraped off like 3 layers of my body and I felt very clean. So like, don't apologize.
Okay, thanks. See, okay, constructive criticism is where it's like, I'm close enough with Maddie to where she knows that I'm a ride or die. Like I'm in it. Mm-hmm. We're in it for life. And so I feel comfortable to joke about the bar of soap and be like, what do you mean you don't scrub your body?
It wasn't even hers. Her and Morgan ganging up on me in pure shock and awe, like you're in prison, you just wash everything with a bar of soap.
Constructive criticism is where a friend can be like, listen, have you tried a loofah? It is amazing.
Those things carry a lot of germs.
They do though. So you got to switch it out.
One and done.
You cannot be using that for months like I do.
It's not sustainable.
It's bad for you.
So
it's gross. Don't do that. That's bad news. So all I'm going to say is
spiraling.
So I know I take you there, but the thing is that our dynamic is so fun and I laugh so much, and I would rather be not taken seriously by the world and be laughing until the end of time. Aren't you all tired of not feeling like endless joy?
There is giggles? A joy deficit. Ugh. Here's a little spiral we've got a lot of ladies, right, that listen to us. And I think you can relate to this. My friend Courtney and I, one of my other best friends, we went away for the weekend and we didn't do it was just the two of us. And every time we talked to someone, they're like, just the two of you? And we're like, yeah. It's not like a girls trip. It's like just the two of you. And we're like, yeah, we want to relax. So just the two of us go. And we don't party. We had like some wine for fun, but like we giggled non-stop. It's like, when you were younger and you would have a sleepover and you just giggled so much. Like that's the goodness. That's the part of life that like I feel like there's just a deficit of when you become an adult.
Well, like that, I think that maybe is like the point of this podcast is reviewing. Yes, we're reviewing the lesson plan, the PANAS lesson plan, but really what we're trying to talk about is like happiness. The deficit of happiness in life right now seems very prevalent. And I don't know about you, but I just am not interested in living a life where I'm just dragging my butt all over the place, trying to get through the next day, trying to make it to the weekend. And then the weekend is like not satisfying because you set up the expectation that it was going to be this great thing.
Yeah.
And it's like, don't you just want to enjoy your Tuesday and like have a great day?
Yeah. Like what if we made collectively on your own? We can't control anyone else. What if in your life, in my life, in your life, we made it a priority to not be so productive, accomplished, and doing, but instead to find humor.
If like the goal was to
the goal is like every day, like if the goal is like it'd make you a better mother, it'd make you a better partner. It would,
yeah.
So I did an April Fool's prank on them.
Oh my God, you guys, this was absolutely abhorrent.
And
I loved every moment of it.
I'm known for my fart spray.
Do not listen to
You're
this
not
if you're a
close
serious person.
to me unless you've been fart sprayed by me.
Oh my God.
This stuff smelled like when we went to Greece with for our 10-year anniversary, we went to Greece with 2 other couples and they're like lifer friends. And I was spraying this fart spray and it was downwind. So then I made Andrew spray it and he sprayed it in one of my friend's hair. And they didn't know it was fart spray. They thought it was like sewage water or something. And she started throwing up.
Yeah. I love that you think it's so funny when, no joke, the entire Garage Gals gang, who's listening to this, I hope, by the way, was looking for the dead animal in the assault bike when she is like, oh my God. And I was like, and Katie, I need you to know I did not mean to blame it on you, but we had just been talking about like pooping our pants. And it was like, I was like, Katie, was it you? Katie was like, that's so freaking rude.
I mean, she
What
just
is wrong
had a
with
baby.
you?
So
and I was like, no, but like,
scapegoat.
no, Katie, it would have been me if anything. And I've outed myself to everyone, so I don't even care. But at this point, I was like, who did it? And then Morgan's like, and no, first of all, we're gonna get to Morgan in a second. Then everybody was like looking for the dead animal in the assault bike because we were like, what is happening?
Meanwhile,
there is a dead
I'm like
carcass.
crying and
You're crying. Well, first of all, we were laughing at the smell. I was like, it's your assault bike, so you're gonna have to throw it away if there's an actual rat that you've been cooking in the assault bike. And so then Morgan, the detective, literally goes in and she's like, I know what's happened. And you're like, it's fart spray. And she was like, I knew it.
I was watching you. It didn't make sense. It didn't add up.
She walks through them. I think the funnier part is not the fart spray because everyone was gagging. It was the smelliest, nastiest stuff. And poor Court was on the rower and she's like getting in it. Her body's in the fart. And so
I'm gonna pee my pants.
Oh my God. And I'm like, you're the April Fools. And then meanwhile, Taylor is upset because she's grinding in the background. And she's like, I was having a party.
And you ruined it with fart spray.
Ruined it with fart spray.
The point of that was not only to bring me immense joy, but make it a priority to do stuff that just tickles your fancy.
Absolutely.
I'll be driving in the car and I was thinking about how I did the fart spray. I can't even get it out. And then I was remembering how my friend Kayla and I did it to our husbands at Christmas.
Oh, are you about to talk about the food?
And we sprayed it on a plate and put the food on it. And Andrew's like, oh my God, ew, this smells disgusting. No. And Matt was like, I can't even get it out.
He was like, ugh, it stinks. Ow. Like, take it.
He ate a piece and then he ate 2 pieces. And he's like, why does this smell smell so bad. And Caitlin, I'm literally in the other room. Truly, as Kelsey, I pee my pants every time I laugh too hard.
Every day.
And then Caitlin was like, joke's on me, his breath smell like dog poop.
I'm sorry, but like literally how would you you're listening to this, sir?
He's like, joke's on you. You got to sleep with me, babe. And she's like, Maddie. I'm crying.
I feel like I might get it. Anyway, I'm getting back to
I think that this is what we started this episode really kind of like happiness. But let's talk about what brings us happiness.
Oh man, what does bring you happiness?
What makes you so happy? For me, pranking is like
listening to you laugh makes me happy. That's pretty much it. Besides my kids and family.
No, like pranking really does make me just
cry,
laugh, just thinking about it. Like I have a collection of fake poop. Like,
oh my God. Okay, here's what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna like get all up in this because first of all, Maddie is like the most delightful, sunshiny angel, and I'm mad scientisting over here because I think that other people, when I see what other people laugh at and think is amazing, I think that makes me happy.
Seeing other people laugh is the best.
Well, I'm being in with them.
Yeah.
Feeling welcomed and enveloped. Again, Arthur, not that he's a literal professor
Genius.
at Harvard. So if you have the time to listen to us ramble about your experience, meeting you was a joy. Because can I tell you something about you, Arthur? You did something really special for me personally. So I got to be his little traveling companion and walk around with him at St. Luke's. And that was lovely because Kate, his assistant, shout out to you, you're a queen. They both were very warm, inviting, and like there wasn't a wall up.
I love that.
For me, I get really uncomfortable when I sense your wall because I don't know how to be anyone other than me. And so when I have to pretend like I've got myself together, I feel very uncomfortable and I don't feel happy in those situations when I feel like I have to be on in a way that is
exhausting.
It's exhausting. It like drains my energy. And Arthur and Kate, if you're listening, you didn't get my most real version of me, clearly. But because I didn't bring up the fact that I pooped my pants at work. I did not bring that up to you
think
right away.
there's a level of professionalism
Sure, I was
that
trying.
You nailed.
I was trying. But I also think this is something to be learned from, is that if we can walk around without walls or less so, that when I sense that somebody is completely open to me, oh my gosh, it's addictive. It's addictive to me. Like truly nothing brings me more joy than when someone is ready to just envelop and we're ready to like snuggle and get to know each other. I think there's this intimacy that humanity misses out on. And I think that's why I don't mind I really don't mind being so up on both sides, being, feeling bad emotions, feeling good emotions at all times, because diminishing my feelings is just against who I am. So when I get to feel everything freely with somebody, I'm never happier than that. Also, I would say, like, I think about my dream day and I think about like the sun is shining, we're out at the pool, our husbands are there, our kids are playing, we have like plans that evening to go see a movie, and like it's sunny outside and like we have not a care in the world. When I think about that
That's joy.
That's joy to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's joy. And being around my friends that I love, that makes me feel joy.
The people.
Yeah.
It's community.
Community makes me feel really, really
And
joyful.
then being around people who allow you to feel who you really are, that's God's love.
Yeah.
Those are usually very divine people.
Well, okay. So that's the other thing, because yesterday what I learned is that, we put a lot of weight on our feelings, and feelings are not really to be trusted. So happiness is really about purpose, your relationship with God, and really like seeking out his purpose for your life. And and then relationship with others and giving and serving one another and really giving unto others as God wants us to, so to speak. I don't know. I feel like there was a lot of moments that were very clear to me about not just happiness. I don't necessarily struggle with feeling happiness so much as I struggle with the pain that I experience regularly, because again, as a mad scientist, apparently that pain is just as aggressive.
And you know what? I see that because you do, you do feel it. And I think that's beautiful.
Well,
because it makes you so empathetic.
Thank you. But okay. So as I was chasing around Arthur yesterday, I asked him a couple of personal questions. I'm really grateful for the opportunity I got that. I said, how do you deal with the pain of watching your children go through suffering? He was like, well, there's really a difference between empathy and compassion. And like feeling empathy for your children, putting yourself in that spot is going to make you feel all those feelings. But having compassion for your child, where you're with them, you're holding their hand, you're not letting them go, you're alongside them, but they are growing and it's good for them. Like that suffering is necessary. We have to suffer. That's what he said. We have to suffer in order to experience the true core of happiness, because suffering equals growth and it equals a necessity for God. And all this to say, it gave me such great perspective, because I was like, he's so right. I am deeply fearful of my children experiencing suffering the way that I did, but they're not going to experience that. They're going to experience it differently. And I get to celebrate that and give thanks for not only God's provision in my life and in their lives, but also I just have to know that God, I know my purpose. I know exactly why God put me on this earth. God put me on this earth to create a wall between generational sin that has happened to my family and my husband's family, and end it right here, right now, so that it never reaches my kids.
Yeah.
That's literally what he put me on the earth to do. Was my kids in many ways are, I think, a part of this really greater divine plan for the kingdom, which is they're going to carry out a lot of peace and joy that God really, I think, had for me, for my mom, for my grandmother, for her mother, and her mother before her. And it's my daughter's time. It's time for them to experience that. And I get to be strong and ensure that happens for them. You know,
stepping into it.
Yeah.
For sure.
What about you? What's your purpose?
It's funny you asked that. I was talking to a friend last night. We were dissecting the podcast, and he reminded me, like, I want to just remind you that you got to remember why you're doing this. Don't let the ego, don't let the praise, don't let, like, what's your intention? What is your intention? And don't forget that. Wake up every day and remember that. And it is easy to be like, oh, how many people listened? Oh, people are telling us they love it, you know, but really it's how many people grew closer to God. It's not about us, right? Be the light.
Yeah.
Don't be the spotlight. Be the light that he's shining through. And he said, you know, who is Maddie? And I was like, that question's too hard. Next. Like, I don't know. I don't know yet. It's ever evolving. I'm not to who I'm going to be till I die. Because I am the cheerleader, I have a hard time facing my deficits. And I would rather kind of avoid them and focus on getting really good at my strengths. You know what I mean? Like, oh, it's kind of the same. Like, I love movement. I would rather work out so hard than eat really healthy because it's easier for me. I would rather focus on growing things I'm already good at and strong at and comfortable with than having someone tell me, hey, this part of you isn't strong yet. What are you going to do? Because then I'm like, well, nothing. I'm going to avoid it. Like, it's just that way. Let's not talk about it. And it's funny because in therapy recently, I discovered I don't really feel sadness very often. It's an unfamiliar feeling for sadness to ever be alone in me. It's usually just anger or anxiousness. But just like allowing myself just to be sad, to feel sad for someone, that is avoided at all costs. I haven't felt that since I was a teenager. And I shut it out because I didn't like how it felt because it was really painful. And I'm realizing that I have to, in order to become who God needs me to be, I have to look into the parts of me that I'm not proud of, that I'm not good at, that I'm not giving to him enough, and face them every single day. So I don't know who I am. I'm okay with saying that. I know parts of myself, but I'm not fully whole because there's parts I've avoided for a very long time. But I'm happy to start exploring them now. It's not going to be fun, but we're going to bring them up. And we're going to get everything even keel probably by the time I die. So, it's a lifelong process. But I don't know what my purpose is yet. I don't know I do know. My purpose is to allow God to work through me so that people can feel his goodness. That's my main purpose. Always. Because that's a huge umbrella, right? Like, that's always okay. That's always, that's what, I don't know how I'm meant to do that yet. I think it's a lot of different ways. But I have to focus on him, not me, which is very hard because I do have a big ego. I'm okay with saying that. Like, I have to go like, it's not about you. Dang it.
I think you need to know something.
What?
I'm in love with you. I think you should know that.
I already knew.
I could cry.
Oh, you're tearing up. She's tearing up if you're not watching.
I love you with all my heart.
Oh, I love you.
I think you are literally the greatest person ever. Besides my husband and my 2 kids, I think you're the greatest person ever. I'm like overwhelmed right now. No, I really am. I think I just saw a part of your becoming. It was really cool. That was really cool. I can't believe I got to witness that.
That was cool.
I don't like to cry. I hate crying. Oh my God, it's so annoying.
I pulled it out of you.
Oh, I hate that. Gross. Ugh. God, it makes me sick. Anyway, that was the coolest thing I've ever seen.
Wow. Okay. Powerful moment. We didn't even know what was going to happen.
I just think that was really amazing. Just like watching you work through that. I think Are my cheeks getting pink?
No. They feel hot.
I think you're just the most beautiful person I've ever seen. I just really love you.
Yeah.
I just think that was one of those moments that I just got to watch God just like be in your heart and just like work. It was really, really cool. I don't even know what to say. I feel like kind of overwhelmed right now because
really, it felt like
it hurt. Like it hurt
really?
my heart. Let me explain. Sometimes when things are so good, they hurt. When I look at my girls and I see them smile when they laugh so hard that they start to like do that like giggle that's like, and it just like it physically hits my body.
Yeah,
that was like one of those moments.
What part of that? Explain. Dive in. To anyone who was listening to that, I was like, what the heck are you talking about, Kelsey?
No. I know. It's really hard for people to follow me sometimes because it just like overcomes me. I think, again, if you haven't been following the journey up to this point, like family for me is a lot of them are chosen. Really, most of them are chosen. And that was like, I think maybe one of the moments in my life that you're watching like a sister become a part of herself, that like your vulnerability and the admittance of not really knowing, and then your willingness to walk with God toward an answer at some point, and then you kind of came to this like really beautiful answer that I could not have put better in words. And then I'm sitting here thinking like I could name you 10 very easily reasons for your purpose here, because I've seen them in the course of a very short amount of time, seen them enacted in every moment that I'm with you. But just in that moment, it was so simple. It was so clear, just your ability to like walk hand in hand with God very vulnerably. And I think you showed me to do it in a different way. Oh, it was really beautiful. I just really am grateful. I'm grateful.
I love you.
I love you so much.
Watch this. I'm going to make her touch my sweaty hand. And she's going to hate it.
It's because you're squeezing my ring. I know that I don't like physical touch. I will touch you. I'm just feeling a lot of things right now.
Andrew's going to be like, you like physical touch, Maddie?
My husband.
I do if there's no strings attached.
I don't know. That's one thing we've talked about is like, if both of our husbands were to meet the Lord before us, then we will very readily form a partnership that is just friendly. We will form a partnership where we do our lives together that is friends. And I think sister wives without
it will literally
romance.
Be a huge sorority house. It would be 4, 5, 6, 8 girls.
And it would be so fabulous. Couldn't wait. I mean, I can't wait. I don't want my husband or your husband to go anywhere. But
that will be us in the retirement community.
9
Girls
or 89
club.
or 90. Fine. Okay. I'm going to ask one more question and then we're going to
wrap it up.
Okay. Okay. I don't know. Hold on.
These are so serious.
I think my last...
We are not Harvard professors. It's not our genre.
I know. And a part of me kind of wants people from Harvard to listen to this and be like, that is the silliest group.
They know nothing. Jon Snow, you know nothing.
Whatever. I'm sorry. I actually do.
No, we know a lot.
I know some things. But, okay, I would say then I want to know the best part of what you think, the advantage. It says, what are the advantages of being a cheerleader?
I've got a really
scientist?
good question.
Yeah,
go. It's that, but
yeah, go.
What's the best part about being Kelsey?
Oh, I love you
Isn't
so
that a good,
much.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I think if you were in my head and in my body, you would know that there are a couple things I enjoy about myself. That if the world ends tomorrow, I'm like a cockroach. I'm gonna be resilient. I'm gonna be resilient, and you can't end me until I'm ready or until God says so.
True.
Like you can't end me because people try. They really have.
I just have this vision of everything going flat like a cartoon, and then up pops.
Because I'm a cockroach.
Kelsey, like,
look, I'm sorry, but one of my besties, Alex, was like, if it's the apocalypse, like we're all going. And I was like, sis, what could you mean by that? I am ready to go. Let's fight. And she was like, no, thanks though. And I think that my perspective is that it ain't over until it's over. And I believe that God has me here for a reason, because when I enter eternity, then there's a couple of thoughts on eternity. Is that I'm at rest, I'm at peace, and then I'm also ready for the battle. Like there's a battle up there, and I believe that he has sent me here to warrior for his kingdom. Because when I go back, Hunter and I, we're going back in the front lines. You know what I mean?
You're definitely a warrior.
Like I think that was what I was. I mean, I think that that's my heavenly sort of identity, is that like I'm a warrior for the Lord. Like I just have always believed that. So I think that that's one part that's fun. And then the other part is like if you knew me, or like if you're in my brain or heart, my love for people is kind of this like really aggressive. Like I think it would scare people if they knew how much I loved them. And even people I don't really like that much.
You do have so much love.
I just think about even the people that I don't like that much, and there's very few of them, I love them a lot. Like I think about those people a lot, and I want them to have the greatest life. Like there's only been one moment in my life that I've ever wished somebody truly ill, and I've thought about it pretty much every day since then. I'm not even kidding. So like that to me is, if you didn't know that about me, now you know. If you think for any reason, if you have a preconceived notion that I've got ill will toward you, trust me when I say I think about you all the time, and all I think about is how badly I want to be like intimately close. So that must be weird for some people. I want to be intimate.
You are. One of the things I'll just say that I love about you so much is that at first glance, people want to hate you. And then at second glance, they're like, you just made me feel so seen, so heard, so loved in like one sentence. And all of a sudden that barrier's gone. And it makes everyone around you see people differently.
Because I just think the world is not like, we are not here for a very long time, but we're here for a good time. So let's enjoy each other while we're here.
Let's make it a joyful prank party.
And same question.
So what do I love about me? I'm going to start from the outside in. This is going to sound really weird, especially in the world we live in, but I love my face.
I love your face
too.
How,
like some people you look at and you're like, I love that face.
I really love your face.
Like, I really have always enjoyed the look of my face. And I think that's a blessing. Like, thank you, God, like for giving me that contentment. Like, I'm like, yeah, like I just like looking at pictures of myself and like getting ready. Like, it's fun. And every time I look at myself, I'm like, hey,
look at
I love you.
You're cute.
Yeah. So that sounds weird, and that's weird to say out loud, but it's actually true. I do like my
I think
face.
more people could learn. But like, again, I'm sorry, but I've never seen a person where I'm like if I was your parent, I would not want to kiss that face. Like I love people's faces. I think they're all beautiful.
Because I think I see it as it's not like the standard of beauty. Like I don't think, oh, I am the most beautiful person to walk this planet. Like I just
like
enjoy looking at my face.
And I love that.
And enjoy looking at a lot of people's faces.
I think you've got one of those faces though. You're a dime plus 99, babe.
Hey.
The truth.
Well, everyone thinks we're sisters. Anywho, I digress. That's me, as you heard previously, trying to get rid of my ego, but it's not an ego thing. I just actually really don't feel any guilt at the fact that I like my outward appearance. And then on the inside, what do I love about myself? I love and don't love the exact same things. I am the eternal optimist, which makes it hard for me to sit with sadness, but I also am usually pretty fun to be around. I will probably make you feel joy because I am what's my color? I can't see yours because I know too many parts of you.
You can't see mine?
I cannot see yours.
You didn't see mine when we first met? Do you know that's exactly like Edward Cullen not being able to hear Bella's thoughts? I swear to God. So I didn't need to tell you something.
What?
I can't see yours either.
Oh, you can't? Okay, good.
But it's also because I think we are legitimately
black.
mirror. Oh my God. No, and I'm going to let you know right now, if your color is black, I'm so sorry. It's not the color black. It's actually a darkness that is not necessarily associated with color black. It's darker colors that freak me out a little bit.
Oh, really?
They just freak me out because when I first established that gift, lighter colors were people that were not going to necessarily take me. They were leading me. Lighter colors were leading me. Mm-hmm. That does not mean that I don't have great relationships with people with darker colors. That is not the truth. There was one particular person that was very dark colored that I was very, I was drawn to that person and it turned out to be a very bad situation.
Yeah,
so
bad
I think that's why maybe I associate it with that. But I have met several people with darker colors that are unbelievably brilliant, lovely, stunning.
Which, if you didn't
people.
listen to our previous episode, we associate colors with people. It's called synesthesia.
I'm going to tell you that the truth about your color is that it's not really a color. It's like just you sparkle a lot. So sometimes when I see people that sparkle a lot, I can't see their color because they just sparkle.
They're just sparkly.
Yeah, they're sparkly. So that's that. So here's my thing to you is that you should take this quiz, but then you should also be like, what color?
What color am I?
Reach out to us.
And also wake up in the morning and be like, what do I love about me? We spend a lot of time critiquing ourselves and finding the parts of ourselves that are not admirable or we don't like or we want to change or fix. But that's part of that perspective shift. If we add a little more humor to our life, a little more joy, what do I love about myself?
Yeah.
And don't feel guilty or weird. And when someone gives you a compliment, don't reject it.
Try practicing taking it and saying, thank you so much.
Thank you. That made me feel good.
Yeah. Thank them for the gift that they've given you instead of being like, no. Because imagine if somebody gave you a gift, physically gave you a present, and then you said, no, thank you, don't want that. That would make them feel sad. So if somebody's like, you're a stunning person, thank you.
Thank you.
Maybe
even give them a hug.
Return
the gift.
Go be friends.
Thank you. That made me feel good. Okay, so I don't know what this episode's fully about. It's about joy, happiness, and us talking about ourselves.
I know. Well, truly, I think we can culminate this in we got to witness an incredibly intelligent man.
Yes.
Talk about some really wonderful things. And next episode, we're probably going to talk a little bit more about the next topic that he discusses. But today was making sure that we establish are we a cheerleader? Are we a judge? Are we a poet? Are we a mad scientist? And recognizing that that's not an identifier. You don't have to necessarily identify with that, but it will make sense as to how you feel throughout your world. And then knowing that happiness really is just around the corner with a few basic steps. And if we're going to recommend you read some of his books, listen to some of his podcasts, some of his interviews. He's written a book with Oprah Winfrey. This man is a scientist when it comes to happiness. We're just two people that are chasing happiness on a daily basis.
Yeah.
You know, we're just two people trying to put it into practice. So
definitely. All right. Thanks for listening. We love you guys.
Love you.